Hi Sharon artists, it's Miss Witt coming to you for Art Today. Today marks the beginning of our Unit 2 for art, and we are going to be learning about Native American art for the next couple of weeks, and I thought this would be a great lesson to start us off. Before you start your art activity, please make sure you listen to the read aloud of The Goat in the Rug. There's a link on my Emoji Classroom Google Slide PDF that I provided you. If you just go to the page where there's the whiteboard and the activity we're going to do today, there's something, the art library, just go click on this cover. You'll see it on there, and when you click on the cover, it will take you to a read aloud of this story. It's a really funny, cute story about how Native Americans would weave their blankets and rugs, and it is not an easy process, guys. It takes a long time to create these beautiful rugs that you have maybe already seen in the slideshow. So please listen to the story if you haven't done so yet. It's a really good read, and it also really helps us because it gives us a good visual of what a loom looks like. So this is the character's loom that she has, and we are going to make our own loom, but instead of having a large wooden loom, we are going to make ours out of paper. So the material that we are going to use today, I have one piece of whole construction paper. If you only have white paper, you can still totally do this, even if it's just lined paper, but I would maybe color it or decorate it. And then have one piece be your loom, and then just cut up some other extra paper strips about 1 inch wide, and that will be what we weave with. But to make our paper loom, you will fold the paper up, hamburger style, as I say in class, and then we have to fold. So once you have this folded, you will make one more fold, maybe about 1 inch, a little less than 1 inch at the top. I folded both sides. This is just to kind of create a stopping point, so I know where to stop cutting. And I'm going to create even sections to cut, and I will stop cutting here. So if you want to measure it out, you can with a ruler. Miss Witt is just going to kind of estimate. I'm going to try to create about 1 inch wide strips. But notice how I am stopping when I get here. This way I have a loom to hold my paper strips together. Ooh, I'm going to have a lot of weaving. And maybe if you are struggling with this, you can have wider sections too. It actually might be better for my younger artists. But if you are in 4th, 5th grade, I highly recommend you creating about 1 inch. But if you are 2nd, 3rd grade, if you want to do thicker sections on your loom, you can. So then we open it up, and notice we have created some openings for us to weave in. Now, you have to pay attention while you're weaving because it's very, very easy to get mixed or confused and accidentally make a mistake, and then the weaving won't turn out right. So the first step is just to start at the bottom, and I'm going to start by going under, over, under, over, under, over. Okay, so, and then I kind of pull it down tight. Now, make sure that after you go through, and you can go even bring it down a little bit more, push it through, just make sure that it doesn't fall out. So just make sure that you didn't miss one or skip one, and kind of come up with a pattern if you are using colored strips, or if you're gonna decorate it after, you can just wait. But the next paper strip that you put through needs to start the opposite way, meaning I started going under for this first one, means I have to start by going over the second one. And it's the same motion, but again, you just have to pay attention to if you are switching it up, making sure you're going under every cut in the loom that you have. Okay, and then just I pull it down so it's a little bit tighter too. So I'll switch colors, and I might try to see if I can trick you, because again, now I'm going back to starting off with under. So it's gonna look almost like a checkerboard game too, so that's another way to double check your work, because it kind of starts to be obvious when there is a mistake or you accidentally went through 2 parts of the loom when you should have just gone through 1. And then again, I just pull it down to make it tight. And I keep on going. So I only have 3 colors that I'm using, so I'm going to make sure I stick to this pattern. And then I'll give you a moment just to kind of guess which way I start. Do I start by going over this first section of the loom or under? Over or under? Remember, we want to go on the opposite of what we did the first time. So this one I went under, so I'm going to make sure I go over for this one. This helps hold in the paper strips, and in real life for weaving, this is how it works, right? Because there would be holes or openings otherwise. And so I'm going to quickly try to finish this so I can show you how to glue it and make sure it sticks. Now, Native Americans, they obviously took great pride in their artwork they created. But again, this is a form of folk art. And remember, folk art, as we learned whenever we had a couple lessons over our malas or the amate paper, it is a form of art that usually has another purpose, right? So the weaving, yes, they created these really beautiful, bright, vivid, colored items, but they would also serve a purpose, keeping warm, or maybe having something under the ground to keep the dirt down from whenever they were in their teepees, or maybe cabins. Oops. Okay. And then as you get closer to the top, you will definitely feel it getting tighter, but that's a good thing, because then that means that your pieces of paper are snug, right? So as you can see, I don't have any papers that are falling off. I am going to glue it, but if you made a mistake and you hold it up and shake it, if there's a mistake, it will start to slide. But notice, none of mine are sliding, so this is a good trick too. So if you start to see it kind of slip, you would know that there was a mistake. Now I'm just going to go ahead and glue down all the little flaps. So I have, it will for sure stick, you know, whenever I cut off these loose ends. I did have a good idea where I could maybe even make this like the fringe of a rug if I wanted to, but I'm just going to cut mine off so it's nice and clean. But if you kind of want to have a little extra decorative part to your Navajo rug, you could maybe just cut these so it's fringe. And then remember, a little bit of dot does a lot. And so the paper that I have has this interesting pattern on it. And again, I'm letting you decide if you want to draw a pattern, because again, remember they use a lot of geometric shapes, so you could maybe come up with your own pattern of pictures or draw a Native American symbol in your Navajo rug. Almost done. Did I glue that? Last one. And now, make sure I hold it down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and trim off this extra part. When you complete your Navajo rug, it would be great if you could submit a picture of it on the hub, but if you still have issues with the hub, I totally understand, and I'm really sorry for any of the issues. But, ooh, it's not completely dry. It might be best to wait to do this until it dries, but since we're on this video, I'm going to go ahead and finish. But please send a picture of your rug. Maybe you do it on the hub. If you're like Miss Witt, I would rather just do it on Dojo. That is totally cool too. I'm trying to just kind of keep track of that on my own in my own grading book, so I understand if the Class Dojo is just easier. So there you go. I might wait to clean it up a little bit better when it's completely dry, but there is my Navajo rug, guys. This is my woven project, and notice how the paper is really sturdy. And we just used a little bit of glue and then the weaving process. So I hope that you guys enjoy this project, and I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with and if you decorate it. And I will see you later. Bye.